All right, guys, so I was unable to catch the beginning part of the process, which was the washing decontamination. I'm going to let Mario, who's the owner here at E1 Autospa, tell you, get you caught up and tell you where we're at right now, and explain that a little bit further so you guys have a better understanding.
So one of the biggest things, as I'm sure everybody knows, is that preparation is the key to getting a really, really good outcome as far as your ceramic coating goes, your vinyl wraps, anything that pertains to protective films on the outside. You have to make sure your preparation is on point. So basically what we did was we took the car outside and using I'll actually show you guys in a minute, it's our spotless water system. And what we do is we have to make sure that the surface is contamination free. There's nothing worse than taking a polisher that goes 10,000 RPMs and you have like a little micro dust that scratches the crap out of the car. You really don't want that. So what do we do in that process? So first off, take the car outside and using a pressure washer, we actually blow off we wash off the initial dirt, dust, whatever, the grime, the road grime that's on the car. After that, we take a foam cannon. So a foam cannon is going to help with lubricity. So essentially you want to make sure that nothing really scratches the car. You have a surface that protects the vehicle from actually marring itself. That's why you're not allowed. That's why you shouldn't dry wipe a car, because you can scratch it. From there, we go through our decontamination process as far as clay bar, iron decontamination. The wheels get a thorough detail to make sure that, hey, when we put the ceramic coating on, you don't put ceramic coating over dirt. Okay, this is a pretty lengthy process. It can take upwards of a few hours. It's very much not your typical detail, and it's super critical to having the overall outcome of how your paint correction is going to come out, as well as how the quality of your vinyl wraps, ceramic coatings, and paint protection films even come out. So as of right now, so far, we've done the single stage paint correction. Now, what is the difference? Single stage essentially means that you take a yellow pad and you use a basic polish and you polish the car. Some vehicles do not need a multi-stage paint correction. Multi-stage paint correction entails that you actually have a lot of deeper scratches that you have to do separate pads with separate products that actually go onto the vehicle, and that's how you actually remove a lot of the scratches, swirls, and defects. A brand new car like this, typically you would not do a multi-stage paint correction. A lot of the time, it's a single-stage paint correction. So basically, right now, this whole part of the car, we actually did a single-stage paint correction. We took a polishing pad and some polish, and we made sure any of the minor defects, scratches, just little stuff here and there is all gone, okay? I just want to show you guys real quick, actually, what the other side look like. So this is just from the little minor road and grime. So when we actually went to go inspect it, we saw that there's like these tiny defects. So we actually think that that was a tire dressing. So usually chemically, you actually don't want to mix anything with tire dressing. So what we did was we washed the vehicle, we left it as is. Then we're going to come back with alcohol and clean it off with alcohol and then do the paint correction. That's to make sure we don't get any chemical smear on the panel. Yeah, I did notice when I went to wash the car, I did notice I had those black spots. I thought it was that iron oxide everyone was talking about, but you're probably right. I do dress the tires with tire wet, and it looks like it was splattered up. I mean, that made perfect sense when you mentioned it. But this is part of the process that, hey, this is what separates everybody. This is details, to make sure that we get everything looking 100%. Okay, so that brings us up to date, and where are we going to go from here? What's the finishing? Now we're going to do the clear bra on it. After we finish the paint correction, we're actually going to rinse the car off because, again, you don't want to leave contamination. So what you're seeing here is this polish residue, and that's totally normal. It's part of the process. We remove all of that, so we essentially detail the vehicle again. This time we do a more touchless approach. So we put a foam on it, and we rinse it off and dry it off. Zero surface contact. Because obviously you don't want to wipe what you just did with the paint correction. Okay. Right. All right, guys. So that catches us up to date. I will be documenting the rest of the process for you, so you'll get a chance to really see the guys that work here, and we'll catch up with you on the next segment. So guys, this is Juan here prepping the surface with a little alcohol.
Get all the stuff out.
Yeah, all that tire shine that I slung up on there for you?
Won't be a problem.
So guys, yeah, for most of my YouTube videos, I went a little nuts with the tire shine according to these guys. It was all stuck along the side of the car. But they took care of it for me, so we're good to go. Juan's here. He's going to start in on the polishing. Mario just got another customer, so he's shopping there, and he's going to take it from here.
Okay, so what I'm doing here, I'm just covering rubber. I don't know if you're familiar, but waxing vehicles or polishing vehicles, the compound can actually stain the rubbers or any plastic trim. So we always want to make sure we cover it before we start doing anything, just because if you accidentally hit it with the machine, the trim is going to get shiny and you don't want that on your plastic trim. So we'll just cover the area that we're going to do. And then we're going to start polishing. So with a clean pad, we start priming our pad. For polishing, we're going to be using 210 compound. So let me go ahead and prep this up real quick.
Is that a fairly non-abrasive one, in other words, because it's a new car?
Yep. So usually cutting, which is removing deeper scratches on older vehicles, requires 110.
Okay.
We'll cut the whole paint, and after that we go over it with 210.
Nice.
Well, on your car, since it's brand new, you're doing 210. Okay. So what I'm doing here, I'm just priming the pad. Very important because you don't want any dry surfaces on the pad. It could it just won't make the polishing look as nice. Okay. So when you do a vehicle, any kind of car, you really want to focus on an area at a time. So we'll divide this into sections and focus on little steps, little areas to make sure we're doing a good job.
Makes sense.
Very important is our lining. We really gotta make sure we see every scratch in there, make sure we remove everything. And sometimes we just better on it. So I'll start with this area right here. And spread your product.
And so you guys did the clay bar yesterday. Isn't that like the first step of the process?
Yep. We clay bar, we wash it, get it prepped up, quick alcohol wipe on everything.
Right.
And then we start
Cool.
polishing. So we start at a little speed. Spread the product. Okay. After that, we increase the speed.
So I noticed you changed the pattern, right? There's a grain to paint, actually, right?
There's a what?
A grain. I was told there's actually a grain to paint. I noticed you changed the pattern up.
Yep. So I just did one pass. That's what we call one pass. We overlap 50% and we go in side-to-side motion or up and down. People change usually. They do up and down, left and right. But
That's so it's an even.
As long as we do
Right.
both passes, then we get a clean towel. We'll go ahead and clean. Clean rag.
Yeah, I think all this is pretty much just time consuming, right? That's why a lot of people shy away from it.
Yep.
You gotta take
And
your
then-
time and do it right.
We really want to check our surface. Make sure we got no scratches on there. This is fairly new paint. We don't have to worry about too many scratches going on it. I usually like to check against the light. And it looks like we're doing good. So, like I said, fairly new paint. Doesn't really have many scratches. We're good here. We can move on to the next area.
All right. Well, guys, I just wanted to give you a little bit of the polishing procedure. I don't want to inundate you with too much too soon. So, yeah, we'll check back in with you. We're going to do tint a little bit later. This is day 2. Yep. And we're going to let that cure for what, 24 hours, Juan?
Tint?
Yeah. That and the PPF.
PPF, yeah. The PPF is about 2 days, or a day or 2 days.
Okay, so we're going to finish that up today on day 2, and then we'll get to the ceramic probably Monday. All right, guys, so he's prepping the hood for PPF right now. We want to make sure the surface is, actually, Mario or Juan, I'll let you describe what needs to be done here for a good...
Yeah, no matter to me. Yeah. So basically, no matter what, you always have to make sure that the surface is totally prepped. Even though we clay barred the car when we did our detail, you still have to do it right before. You never know what's as clean as the air is with all the air cleans up there. As clean as the air is, you never know what's going to stick to the car, and you don't ever want to risk having that. So
Right.
usually within a minute of cleaning it, we want to make sure the film gets put on the car. So we always take the proper measures. We always think worst case scenario. Like, hey, what could possibly be in this car? We want to completely eliminate that. That's why
Nice.
preparation is the key.
And as an extra bonus, this shit smells pretty good too.
Yep. Smells really good.
That's my 2 cents. That's my professional opinion.
So what Juan is doing, he's cleaning the edges.
Okay.
He's cleaning the edges. So like that, make sure no dirt or any kind of contamination is on there.
Right.
Now we get it ready. Put our slip solution. This is what is going to help the paint protection film slide around.
Gotcha.
To give us working time. Okay? So that's just going to really help us get where we need to be as far as film. So this is actually the film, this is actually the hood. So basically this actually has a release liner. So we take the film, clean it off, and then we peel the film, and then we transfer it to the car.
Gotcha.
So first off, we clean it. Because again, just like you never know what could be laying down the car, no matter what time period, you want to make sure the surface is clean.
Makes sense. There it is.
Put it in.
There it goes.
Nice. Is that a good one, Juan? Success?
Success.
Nice.
One step.
Now,
So these are pre-cut, right?
Yep, this is a pre-cut. I call these modified pre-cut. So I like to give as much protection as possible. So could you do this custom? Yes, but at the same time you like to have some semblance of hey, you know what, we can have a nice wrapped edge,
Right.
giving the whole idea of custom. So I call it modified custom
Gotcha.
or modified pre-cut. So what I'm doing is I'm locking down edges. So if you look really close, there's actually a notch right there. That is essentially tells me, hey, where the material is gonna go. Okay. So like that, when you go to lock it down, that notch is invisible now.
Cool.
So basically what we're doing is, this is actually the film. So this has actually already been applied. See how nice and clear it is. So
Yeah, looking
what
good.
we're doing is we're actually just squeegeeing out all the materials. I'll show you guys how we do it. Okay. And this is the last bit.
Yeah, I mean, it looks just like another clear coat. Like, it's crazy.
Yep.
Oh, just wait till that's ceramic.
Oh, no, I know. I've seen the difference on. I mean, I'm sure you can't even appreciate it on film.
Oh, for sure. Now we're just making sure we take care of all that material.
Yeah, it looks like original
Yep.
clear coat or something.
The idea is you never know the difference. That's part of why we wrap the edges and everything like that.
Right.
So like that you can actually see or not see it right there. And that's what you want. crystal clear.
Yep.
And from this point, we lock down the edges, we let it cure, and it's actually going to get even clearer than this because it still needs time to dry.
Right. Yeah, it looks good. And you said that's going to even clear out even more from there,
Yep.
huh? And then the ceramic goes on top of that, makes it even
Correct.
crazier.
Correct.
So it's better than showroom new.
Yep. 100%. Every time. Hey guys, so something I actually wanted to let Steve know is that this is super critical. This is our deionized water system, okay? It is super critical to have the proper water. Because of course, as you know, city water or regular tap water can have little bits of contaminants, whatever. We need to make sure that the water we use is as pure as possible. So we actually have an entire system that makes sure this water is deionized, make sure it's in its purest form to have a lower part per million content of solids. That also allows us to reduce the amount of contamination that could possibly be on the paper jacket equipment. So it's critical, it's super huge.
Again, guys, attention to small details is what makes this really shine. No pun intended. All right, guys, so here we are at the halfway point. I figured this would be a good time for you to see the finished product versus the one he's just about to do. So as you can see, I mean, it's virtually undetectable once it's done, and there's the other half of him laying it down. Cool.
Well, he wants to have this to where he has the YouTube stuff, Instagram stuff here, and then just like the race cars or the fighter jets. Because let's be real, this thing looks like a freaking fighter jet.
Yeah, it does.
That's how they designed it. Yeah.
You take it and you put, Farachi, cockpit Maverick, or something like that. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
So, and I think when we do,
I didn't think of that angle. That's exactly right.
When we do the embossing, that'll just stick out, and then we can put the YouTube, the Instagram, and stuff right
There's
there.
no need to have that twice. Is the
So
point.
we
Make
can
it
just move that over.
Right.
Yeah.
I think that'd be a
Do
classier
you
too.
have the file for your emblem, the emblem that you showed us?
I do on my Mac. I think I can forward it over to you guys.
We can even do the FF here.
I like that. Right in the middle.
Embossing right there in the middle.
Yeah. Now we're talking. That'll start to personalize this car for YouTube. So guys, that's another thing I love about this shop right here. Like yesterday, Mario turned to me and says, we were brainstorming some of this stuff. He's like, I freaking love doing this all day.
Oh yeah, all day long.
Like when someone loves their job that much, it's just going to turn out, the best it could possibly be. So another reason I went with E1 Autospa for all my work. All right, guys. So Mario's giving me some more design ideas here. He recommended maybe we try some of the embossed vinyl work. So he's giving me just a quick idea what that would look like, and I thought you guys would want to take a look. It's pretty interesting. Yeah.
There you go.
All right, let's take a look here. Here you go, guys. Farachi 561. I don't know how the camera's going to pick that up, but yeah, it's a cool effect. I mean, I'm starting to see a few guys use that, but it's still pretty unique. I'm liking it. So the game plan is to wrap this in probably like late summer, August or something, and we'll utilize this technique pretty much. Are you talking about maybe doing this now a little bit on the roof here?
Yeah, up to you.
So yeah, guys, we're just kicking these ideas around last minute. Because obviously he's done this for a long time, so he's got a few ideas that I want to personalize this car a little bit. So we'll definitely do something when we do the wrap at the end of the summer, but we're thinking about maybe popping this on there right now. All right, guys, just want to keep in the loop everything we're going through to put this car together, and we'll get back with you in just a bit.